Hi, this is an Odyssey feat guide for the Arkham Asylum Speed feat, known as Crazy Fast. That's for completing Arkham Asylum in under 30 minutes. Apologies for the video being split into two, but it's due to YouTube's 20-minute restriction. The setup we use is one tank who can sort of off-spec DPS, one DPS, one healer, one controller, so standard group setup. In the freeze wing, what we do is the tank stays within tank mode and he covers all the objectives, while the rest of the group essentially clear a safe path and the most direct route through the objective rooms. The group doesn't need to worry about supporting or healing the tank whatsoever. The tank, if he's ice, which is preferred for this, can use reflex to keep his speed up, minimise the damage he takes. And a lot of his abilities will sort of put the enemies in ice cubes to stop them chasing him. So in the first room, as soon as he gets round the 4 boilers, he'll move straight on into the second objective room and try and get around the 6 boilers. The likelihood is he'll die at least once within that. When you do die, just respawn as fast as you can, go straight to where you were going in terms of the objective. When you do get to the second room and clear all the objectives, then it's just a case of moving down to Mr. Freeze, and once you get to Mr. Freeze, let the tank, who should be the only person there because the rest of the group should still be clearing a path, just run in and die. That will unlock the boss spawn point that's right next to Mr. Freeze, so then the rest of the group can die and respawn there. Once you do get to that point, I would advise the tank switching to DPS, because you really want to get Mr. Freeze down in under 90 seconds and save a lot of time, rather than having to fight his guardians and having to go through all the mechanics of putting them next to a burning boiler. It does save a lot of time for you. So burn Mr. Freeze down as fast as you can. If you have to, also switch your controller out to DPS. That's about it for the freeze wing, really. It's probably the toughest wing out of all of them for the speed feat. The tank really has to run through and be able to handle herself in terms of knowing which buttons to press to keep the speed boosts up and get through with minimal deaths. If they have more than 2 deaths, they are probably going to struggle to get the wing completed in time. So upon killing Mr. Freeze, just move directly to the Ivy Wing. Essentially, once you've got the Freeze Wing and Ivy Wing done, you're pretty much looking at you've got the feat done, as long as you don't do anything stupid and wipe. Your tank can either stay in tank mode for survivability or switch to DPS mode to get the objectives down a bit quicker. I'd probably advise tank mode for most cases. I'll just take this time to point out that this tank isn't wearing his full tier 2 tank gear, he's wearing DPS gear in tank mode, so it is doable by pretty much any tank, because he's not going to have any additional mitigation other than those from his skill points. So in the Ivy Wing, he moves straight to the objective to open the door while the group clears up everything behind him. He'll then move directly into objective room 1, and the path you should take in there is clear the one on the left first, and then move forwards and clear the one on the stairs, which requires a little drop down. Jump up onto the balcony and clear the one on the balcony, then drop down to the lower floor near where the door will be opening to clear the one in the middle. If the entire group regroups at that middle one, that means you can clear all the enemies, because there's an interim room between objective room 1 and objective room 2 where you do have to clear the ads to open the door to objective room 2. So now we're moving towards objective room 2. As mentioned earlier, there's an interim room where you have to clear enemies to open up the door to objective room 2. Upon killing the last large sort of Venus flytrap giant plant, then the door will be opened for you. When you've moved into objective room 2, there is an advised route to take to speed it up, and this does help out a lot to get the time down, and we'll go over that as soon as we reach that part in the video. So as you can see now, as soon as that enemy goes down, the doors open up. So moving in there, you'll immediately see an objective. The tank can ignore that objective and move up left onto the balcony. Kill the left hand side objective, which is relatively easily because he should have minimal aggro, and then move over the bridge, which is in the centre of the room. This links directly across to the right hand side balcony's objective. In the meantime, the group should be killing the first objective in the room and moving straight forward towards the stairs, clearing a path for themselves, and then killing the second objective, which is at the top of the stairs. So the tank now moves across the central bridge, across to the right hand side objective. At this point his health will be very, very low. I could have killed the first objective more easily, but I had targeting issues here, so I am quite low on health. If he can use a soda cola and anything to keep himself alive, this is helpful, and then hopefully when he reaches the third objective, which is at the top of the steps above the objective that the group should be clearing, the heal will be able to top his health up, and then all 5 objectives will be clear. As soon as this objective is down, the tank can then move straight through the door and move to Ivy, aggro her, get killed, and that opens up the spawn point for the group Equally, if you're together here, the entire group can just move straight to Ivy and ignore the ads as they're slow moving. Engage Ivy. If you do have any ads on you, the door should close the majority of them out. As you see here, we do use the die tactic. It's probably not necessary, but we show you how it is possible. It would save possibly a minute and a half by just moving the entire group into the room together. That's all for this tactic guide. My name's Thermal, and this was an Odyssey feat guide, and we look forward to seeing you in the future. I'll now leave the video running for your viewing pleasure.